Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Bass, and today I'm going to read this story to you called Achoo! Why Pollen Counts by Shannon Versani. And while I'm reading today, I want you to think about why bees are important to the world we live in. Think about what they do to change our environment. I hope you enjoy the story. Achoo! Why pollen counts. Achoo! Achoo! Baby Bear sneezed. He rubbed his itchy, watery eyes and sniffled his runny nose. Baby Bear lumbered out of his den into the warm spring air. His fuzzy black fur glistened in the morning dew. A coat of yellow dust covered the forest outside his home. Yuck! Icky! Why am I so sticky? Huffed Baby Bear. He stretched his sleepy muscles by rolling in a golden field of clover. Valerie Vole poked her head out of her burrow. You rubbed pine pollen on your fur, she said. You have an allergy. Achoo! Achoo! I'm allergic to pollen too. Valerie sneezed as she scurried back underground. I don't like pollen, bellowed Baby Bear as he scratched his face and rubbed his fur along the rough bark of a pine tree. It's messy. It's itchy. It makes me, achoo! Sneeze! I wish there was no such thing as pollen. Pollen is more than sticky yellow dust, soothed Mama Bear as she cleaned his fur. The forest plants and animals need pollen. Some animals eat it and others move it around to help pollinate plants. Each plant makes its own type of pollen. Pollen comes in many shapes and colors. Some make you sneeze, but others don't. In the spring, I catch pollen in my web and eat it for dinner, said Sandy Spiderling as she swayed from a branch. Some types of pollen are light and float in the air. The wind catches the pollen and carries it over far distances before it clings to my silk. Each night, I roll up my web and eat what I've caught. Other types of pollen are heavier and cling to flowers, said Zoe Zebra Butterfly. She reached into a deep flower with her long proboscis. She slurped up the pollen inside. Many insects eat pollen. Ant larvae, carpet beetles, wasps, and honeybees all think pollen is a tasty meal. Honeybees? I love sweet honey, but don't honeybees eat nectar? Baby Bear asked. We do eat nectar, hummed Honeybee, but bees eat pollen too. We have small baskets on our hind legs that we use to collect pollen. In the hive, we use pollen and nectar to make bee bread. Our larvae grow strong eating the protein-rich bee bread. Some animals like butterflies, bats, bees, and hummingbirds drink nectar from summer flowers. Pollen sticks to them as they travel from flower to flower. Everywhere they go, the pollen goes with them. After the flowers are pollinated, the plant can grow fruits like apples and berries. Achoo! Achoo! Baby Bear sneezed even louder. He fell backwards onto a hollow log. Crash! Thump! Lily Ladybug, still sleepy from long months of hibernation, flew out from the dusty cloud of pollen. She looked at the messy Baby Bear and laughed. I snack on pollen in the fall, Lily said, when I can't find any aphids to eat. It has plenty of protein, so I can hibernate in the winter. Baby Bear shook himself off. So Sandy eats pollen in the spring, Zoe and Honeybee eat it all in the summer. Lily eats it in the fall. Do any animals eat pollen in the winter? Asked Baby Bear. What do you think? Yes, said Sammy Snow Owl. Pollen floats high in a cloud. It clings to water, which freezes, forming ice crystals. As the ice crystals grow, they fall and form snowflakes. Some animals, like deer and wolves, eat snow in the winter. Well, who else eats snow? Asked Honeybee. I do. I ate snow when I first came out of hibernation, sang Baby Bear. So I eat pollen too. Pollen is part of honey, found in snow and necessary for the growth of apples and berries. It's a food for some animals and helps plants grow into food for others. I guess I do like pollen after all. Achoo! That's the end of our story. So think about why bees are important to our environment. And finish pages 38 and 39 in your science journal. Then you can take a look at the diagram of a bee. Check it out. Look for the proboscis, which is kind of like the bee's tongue, the head, the body, the legs, and there's the pollen basket that they referred to in the story. Later this week, check out page 43 in your science journal. In the beginning of the book, Baby Bear sneezed and wished there was no such thing as pollen. On this page, pretend you're a bee and write a message or a letter to Baby Bear that tells why pollen is important.